Well, here we are, back again. What was it in the Fallout quote was? No matter what you do, you always end up right back where you started. Well, here we are yet again. So we are going to check out the replay of a three stack of Typhoons. I've got Sir Perry and Pappy as my wingmen, and throughout this whole fight, you're just gonna see basically proper squad tactics in play yet again. So we've picked up this main trio that's in the middle of the map right here, 51, 47, and what's this other guy? Let me get an angle. J26 and another P51. So Typhoon, fast, can turn very well. It's just the roll rate on the plane is pretty bad. But the thing is, once you get into squad gameplay like this, the individual characteristics of the plane doesn't really matter. Well, only thing that matters is the initial engagement and how you position yourself at the start of the fight to maximize the strength of your aircraft. But in this case here, we are already looking pretty good going into the engagement. So we single out the 51 who's lagging behind this trio. Go in for the attack. He doesn't see us coming, or at least he did until the very end. Well, he's dead. So we merge in with 47. I go low to the right. Perry goes in left. Pap gets shots in there, but doesn't connect with anything. And now we're just committing into the turn fight. I saw his wing off there, and there goes the 47. He didn't stand a chance. Now, as we continue on into the fight here, you can see Perry does a very good job of just following through with me on basically anything, and he does this very well, like almost all the time. And you're gonna see this happen a couple more times in this replay. Now 61 flies in past us on the right here. He was using his gunners to try and knock out that whirlwind, but I slot in behind him, come in low, and actually no, I don't think I'm the one who gets the shots in on him on there. I can't quite recall who gets the shots in there. The replay system is currently a little bit bugged, so just have to just deal with that. Now we've turned back over to the left here, looking to reform and reset. Perry is coming back in behind me on the left. I swing around to the left here, so they give Pap a chance to get closer. And it's around about here, I believe, that two Corsairs pop up. Now, I don't see the Corsairs. Pap is the one that calls it out. Yeah, there they are. So these two Corsairs, they side climbed from the very start of the game. These are F4U4s, and they are squatted up, if I recall. So now we've got a 2-on-3 here. I would favor the Corsairs in this position, especially against the Typhoon Mach 1B with altitude advantage. I mean, the Corsair with the altitude advantage. Definitely, I would want to be in the Corsair shoes. Now, as we were coming into this turn here, you see we've all reformed yet again. So once you've got everyone in close proximity, you don't have to be flying in like a tight rigid formation. I've discussed this before in previous videos regarding air combat tactics. So long as you're close enough to shoot your wingman, that means you're within weapons range. You're already considered, in my book, to be within mutual support. So we've gathered everybody up here. We're all flying in the same direction, and right now we're just trying to equalize energy. Wait for them to come in to us, which they do. The problem is against F4U4, the Typhoon can't really quite equalize energy states, especially if they have an altitude advantage. If they play their cards right, they can keep the initiative throughout the whole fight. So you can see here, once the first Corsair comes in, this was the big mistake on their part, that they staggered themselves too far off. Yes, there's nothing wrong with just sending one guy in first and having the guy follow behind to follow up so that anyone that's being attacked here, they manage to reverse. Then the second wingman will be right in a position to immediately start an attack. But in this case here, they are way too far apart. This guy has just gone straight in, and he's gonna make some pretty big mistakes with trying how you should fly the Corsair. He doesn't fly it right. So looking at the spaghetti lines here, you can see, well, I didn't record the actual gameplay, so I don't have the audio. But basically, throughout the beginning, the first two engagements, both Perry and Pap, we had very good comms going across the entire squad. And basically, the best call that I can say if you're flying as a wingman is just to say that you're there with the leader. You say that, and all of a sudden, the whoever the flight leader or the wing leader, he in my case at least feels happy. So long as someone says like I'm with you, when you've gone through the fight, you've gone through the merge, and everyone's taking shots at everyone else. To know that the guy that's supposed to be following you is with you and he's not dead, that's really good because now you have options. Once you know where your wingman is and that he's following you, you can make plays that's being made here. In this case here, you can see that once the Corsair has singled out one of us, we all break off into different directions, and I decide to break off into right low, and that's going to get me angles on the Corsair that's here. And as you can see, his buddy is nowhere to be seen because he's too far off. His buddy is only now making his attack. So I take some shots there. Now there's nothing much we can do here. We can't really pursue. If he just flies off in the straight line in a shallow descending, in a shallow dive, we were not going to be able to catch him. So around about here, once he does a barrel roll and goes down, I'll check back, and the second Corsair is now lining up on the Pap here. So call that out. I break off first. Pap breaks off to the right. Now I'm swinging back around. And now he's running away. There's not much we can do here. All I'm doing now is just telling everyone to keep close again. So long as we're close like this, if the other guy tries to reset, which is what he's going to do, we can do exactly what we have just done. Defend ourselves, provide mutual support, and call out when the bandits are coming in and who they're on. At this point, it just comes down to perseverance, battle of wills, and see who flinches first. So we're going off together again. To the left. We let the Corsair attack. Nothing much we can do there. He has the initiative. As you can see here, everyone's breaking off in different directions, but they're all breaking off towards the friendly. So even though we got attacked there at an angle and the Corsair had an initiative, you can see just looking at the lines, everyone understands that the maneuver that they should take in such a situation, try not to go too far off from each other. Now I get a long range shot on that Corsair and I rip his wing off, but he's not quite dead and he'll be back. So we swing back around. Perry's coming back to reform on me. Pap is always the one that is not quite capable of keeping track of where everybody is all at the same time. There's nothing much you can do about that. Not everybody has the ability to do that. But when that happens, right, you have a wingman who is not as situationally aware. It comes down to the other members of the flight. If they are capable of doing it, they need to tell the other wingman where we are and what he should be doing to come back into formation. Quite a few previous videos where I try to show that off, and every now and then it kind of works, but most of the time with Pap it doesn't quite work because he's a little bit slow, but it is what it is. So Perry picks up the first Corsair that I ripped his wing off. He takes a couple of shots. So I come back around and try to help him out here, try to finish this guy off. There's a P-47 down low now. He came from the middle of the fight, so he's low on speed and altitude. Friendly Whirlwind comes in, takes shots on the first Corsair and actually knocks him out. So now it's just a 4-on-1 on this P-47, and there's nothing much you can do against 3 Typhoons that have energy advantage. It's basically just a matter of time. And yeah, ripped off his tail, and that's the end of that. So very quick short replay, just showcasing formation tactics, everyone keeping quite close together, having the comms clear and concise, everyone making the correct moves in relation to their squad member. Because at the end of the day, that's the biggest problem with the War Thunder community when it comes to squad tactics, is that everyone is still too focused on individual one-on-one type stuff. And things like this where I showcase. I have other videos on the channel. It will never get any much traction, but I enjoy making the videos just to showcase this is what can be done, and this is what is possible within the game. If only the game developers kind of nudged the game towards a kind of team oriented type of gameplay, game style, then the game would be in a much more healthier state, in my opinion. So yeah.